Hello, dear friends. This solar eclipse has generated wild conspiracy theories, but there may be some truth in my opinion. Opinion piece: Night of the Comet, Turning Point, Plant Silence, Nibiru Occultation, Battle of the Eclipse, Far-fetched Theories, Predictive Programming. It would change everyone's life. The Simpsons predicted the eclipse. Let's start. The film, Day of the Comet, or Night of the Comet in Latin America, is a science fiction, comedy, and horror film directed by Tom Eberhardt. The plot of the film focuses on a comet that passes near the Earth and causes the death of almost all of humanity, leaving only a small group of survivors who must face the consequences of the catastrophe and the dangers that lurk in the world, the post-apocalyptic world. According to Bennett Ross, there are predictive programming films like Night of the Comet. People turned into zombies from the close approach of this distant vista. One thing is certain: the elite know something they are not telling us, and they are trying to hide it. We are under the spell of mind control that uses technology and propaganda to keep us in a false reality. According to the film's script, a comet passed through the city of Los Angeles, wiping out all of humanity. Mutant zombies rise from the ashes and want to destroy the few living beings that remain. The protagonists will have the help of a friendly truck driver to try to find a safe place. The film was released in 1984 and has been considered a cult film by its fans, who highlight its black humor, its post-apocalyptic atmosphere, and its originality in the plot. In the film, the Earth passed through the path of a comet's tail, which caused animal and human life to dehydrate and turn into red dust. But two teenage sisters saved their lives by spending the night inside the metal container. When they wake up, they find that the world has been devastated, and those who were not fully exposed have become hungry zombies. To survive, they learn self-defense and get weapons. Eclipse. The battle of the eclipse will decide the future of humanity, according to Benjamin Fulford. In his opinion, the secret word for the planet is heading towards a decisive battle centered on the eclipse that would begin shortly after this report is published. The White Hats are not going to let this happen. There is no doubt that this eclipse is no ordinary event. It passes through 7 towns called Nineveh, a Babylonian city mentioned in the Bible as a center of sin and depravity. It also passes through 7 towns called Salem, known in the Bible as the dwelling place of God. This eclipse bears resemblance to the Assyrian eclipse during the time when the prophet Jonah approached Nineveh and urged the Assyrian people to repent. During the 2017 eclipse, Nibiru made an appearance, but the media focused on a prophecy by David Mead to distract attention. He also predicted the end of the world in 2015, writing another book that came and went. In addition to failed predictions about the date of the end of the world, he also wrote books on how to build racing cars, on politics, and how to increase traffic to his website. Those were his qualifications. Putin has threatened to announce Nibiru to the world if he is blocked in its efforts, breaking the secrecy that the Western elite has maintained with an iron fist. This is recorded in the Tucker Carlson interview that has not yet been published, and evidence could also emerge from other sources. He has solid evidence, and he could expect others to join him when the media debate begins. Those perpetrating the Nibiru occultation want this to continue, as they benefit from the delay. Synchrony. There was also a 4.8 earthquake in New York a few days before April 8th, and the Statue of Liberty was struck by lightning. It is also the case that states of emergency have been declared throughout the entire path of the eclipse. There are many more things that are being covered extensively elsewhere, but it is clear that something very unusual is happening. The Simpsons vision of the eclipse is also of interest. They referenced the April 8th solar eclipse in several episodes. For example, this astronomical event is mentioned in the 1993 chapter March versus the Monorail. According to Fulford, the coalition plans to help the Creator increasing the quantity and variety of life exponentially. This would be based on the 369 sequence that obsessed the genius Nikola Tesla. It would continue with the Fibonacci sequences of previous evolution to create entirely new paradigms of life. Message: Mrs. Sierra has channeled this uplifting eclipse message through 6 members of her soul group. They are blue beings and they spoke as a collective. The eclipse has to do with a vibrational shift that comes in hours or days. The eclipse is not about fear. Vibrating technology was placed around the planet and monoliths will assist the eclipse. A big change in frequency is coming. Everyone needs to know, those who want to listen. Don't panic. Most of what people need to prepare is within themselves. They need to look deep inside themselves and ask if they love themselves. This change will help change everyone's lives after the eclipse. This is such a big vibrational shift that everyone will know afterwards what love is everything. The dark forces are gone. Those who gave information stayed. Most of them have been evicted from the planet. They are not allowed to return to Earth. The vibrational shift is occurring and has occurred. We have to be careful with our words as we are not allowed to say too much. It's part of the plan not to say too much. We are doing it by surprise. We are surprised how many have noticed the change. Vibratory consciousness has shifted faster than we thought. The divine plan was set in motion to awaken the people, and they have quickly taken hold. We would just like to say to those of you who know, ladies and gentlemen, please hold on your hats. We are very excited for your future. Everyone will feel the change of shift. It will be a major change that everyone will feel, inside and out. You will feel the frequency within yourself. Our intention is not to be based on fear. The eclipse is not to be feared. The eclipse is a beautiful thing. The vibrational change will affect people's hearts directly. Everyone will be improved, all over the planet. This includes wildlife, plants, etc. Understand that the eclipse is a good thing and a turning point for civilization. Apocalyptic news. The magnetic pole shift is accelerating now. The dark side is panicking because they have lost the chance. The change is happening now. And the change is happening now. More and more people are moving away from the darkness. The end is near. Get ready for the next 7 months. Colonel Douglas McGregor believes that Biden will resign in the next 60 days to avoid responsibility for the defeat. Iran will not attack Israel if there is a ceasefire in Gaza, according to Jerusalem Post. Vatican opposes sex reassignment surgery and surrogacy. Precious metals. The gold market continues unstoppable to record highs, touching an all-time high of 2,350 per ounce before the weekend. The price of gold is at record levels and is about to skyrocket even more. Gold could reach $4,000 an ounce or more. The record price of gold will avoid headwinds and they will make 30% 30% more profits, according to the famous economist David Rosenberg. In China, they notice strange things with gold. The US is the owner of the largest gold reserves in the world, but strange events have occurred lately, according to material published on the Soho Internet platform. At the beginning of 2024, there are about 8,000 tons of precious metals in US gold and foreign exchange reserves. This figure has remained stable for many years, but the situation has begun to change. Many countries which previously deposited their gold reserves in US banks began to recover their assets. USA does not accept Chinese imports that decimate new industries, says Yellen. Russia has asked Kazakhstan to supply it with gasoline, as attacks on its refineries force it to import fuel. Dystopia. Orwell and Huxley were wrong according to Charles Hugh Smith. What they were wrong about is the limits of the control systems. Full-spectrum technological totalitarianism can enforce compliance with desired behaviors and expressions of consent, but it cannot force individuals to have ambition or creativity, to marry for the love of children, or to possess values of beliefs beyond special quality or compliance lips. The fictional visions of Orwell and Huxley resonate as maps of the current awakening. Orwell's account of the entire technological spectrum of totalitarianism maps the dominance of big surveillance technologies that fit social credit scores. What Kafka described well is how society can become dysfunctional, as in the days of the fall of Rome, bread and circuses keep the masses distracted. Huxley's vision of a doped, metal-dependent population loving its servitude also maps the present. In fact, we not only love our bondage, it manifests itself in our addictions and dependencies on everything from debt to junk food. Our servitude has become so normalized that we do not even recognize that it supports normal life. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.